Yo, gamer, Nemi here. Welcome to another Tekken 7 tutorial video, and today my boys are going to be taking a look at a follow-up video to the punishment training video I did a few days ago. Now at first I wanted to incorporate these two and make them one video, but I thought to myself it will be a little bit too long and a little bit too confusing, so it's better I just separate the two, because that way at least you follow the steps, you know, one tutorial at a time. Okay, so now let's say you're done with punishment training, right? You've done this as much as you can. I was a little bit late there. You did the same video, so the same move. So you're just done with punishment training, right? You've done everything, you know, a good 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour, right? You've done this. Now you're like, I'm tired. What else can I do? Well, there is one thing that I used to do, especially in Tekken 6. I used to do this a lot. It's helped me so much when it comes to like character matchups. So this is more so matchup training in a scenario that you don't really have a training partner or someone you can usually spar with that can teach you matchup knowledge of specific characters. So what I used to do is fight against the CPU in practice mode. So you got to stand CPU, then choose a difficulty. I always used to put it on ultra hard. Now this one is a little bit different from punishment training, because in punishment training you're just familiarizing yourself with certain moves of the CPU that you can punish, you can learn to punish, whether it be a low, a mid, or duck in highs. But with CPU training, it just randomizes that and gives you a sense of experience. Like it gives you a sense of experience of having to fight this particular character. I don't know if that makes sense, but how else can I put it? You're just training your mind to familiarize yourself with the character in a sense. It's like punishment training, but like, you know, fighting. So what I do is, I don't really like fight the CPU in that sense. You know, I just, you know, poke it and see what it does, how it reacts, right? It's just like that. You just see what it does, right? I punish that because I know it's not safe. Right, doing low like that, I know that low is plus. I don't have frame. This is especially good with frame data, by the way. So if you have season 3 and you have frame data, keep that on while you do this. So it's like punishment training, but in real time. That's like the easiest way to put it, right? So you just play around with the computer. That's not safe. You know, I know how to punish that. Don't be too offensive against it, because the CPU is not as good as it used to be. Like in Tekken 6, this thing was hard to fight. Like in Tekken 6, maybe even tag. Like this thing was hard to fight. Like it had stupid CPU programming. You could block every low, you could see every high, right? But this one, not as much. So I'll keep on throwing lows with this thing. You see? Right? It doesn't really block lows that much. But Tekken 6, this thing used to be very, very difficult. So just play against it. Just keep on fighting against it. You're training your mind, you know, to fight the matchup of this character. You're familiarizing yourself with the play style, right? Now this is in a scenario that you don't really have a training partner. Like I said, that's launch punishable. You know, punish that, do a simple BNB combo. And you're just basically practicing everything. Your execution, you know, you can sidestep, try to see where it's the weak side, you know, according to what it throws out a lot. That's a full crouch low. Should I try to duck that? So for me, I don't really know the Gigas matchup, because I have never faced a Gigas. Maybe once back in season 1, that was the last time I faced a Gigas. So Gigas for me is like alien territory. I'm not familiar with this guy's moves, right? He's basically new to me. That's not safe. That's launch punishable. You know, so just stuff like this, guys. Practice. Just okay, minus 12, launch punishable. All right, yeah. Okay. Oh my god, it's a 2-hit string. Okay. Back 4 is really, really good for tracking. As you can see, he's adjusting. When I step, he throws out tracking moves. Back 3, all these Murdoch moves. Jesus, my man was almost replaced by this abomination of a character. That's low high. So guys, as you can see, I'm learning. Like I'm learning, right? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, right? So just right just familiarize yourself with the character. Another character for me that's really difficult. Let's see, who else can I place here? Katarina. Alright, Katarina. Leo, Lily, Lucky Chloe, Master Raven, Shaheen, Yoshi. Alright, who goes next? Okay, let's go Katarina. I struggle so much against Katarina because I just can't block her lows for shit. Right, her pressure is always intoxicating for me. Like, I know what I have to do, but I just can't react. That sidestep, dark, instant to counter the Harrier mix-ups. So stuff like that. So I try to set Katarina on CPU and just see what I can do against her. See shit like that. That's practically a safe mid. That's high, mid-high. Full crouch mix-up. But now, like, guys, like, this is not as good as fighting someone. So it's like a bare minimum, right? It's like a basic of what you can do if you don't really have a sparring partner. Just do this, guys. You don't really have to boot up Tekken every time and go into ranked. You boot up Tekken every time you go into practice. Sorry, you go into online mode, quick match. Oh my god, that low. That shit always gets me. That's not punishable. That's punishable. That's punishable as well. Okay, I know that 2-hit string. Okay. Okay, that's not safe. He does it again. So as you can see, guys, like just do this. it helps, trust me. I say that. I know how weak side is her left side. So snake edge. Fuck, she noticed I was taping. Oh my god, the Harrier mix-ups. That's not safe. Ah, how do I punish it with Lars? That's not safe, right? Yeah. Crouch. No, shouldn't have done that. Okay, so now just think of it as you trying to study the CPU and not trying to fight the CPU, right? If you want to fight the CPU, it's good in the sense you can practice your combos, you know, you can practice your punishment, your sidestepping, just try to fight it if you want. Or try to study the character in a sense. Again, guys, it's not right. It's not like top tier training, right? Again, I repeat myself. In a scenario that you don't really have a sparring partner or someone to help you with matchup knowledge, because again, if you're trying to be good, at this game, trying to compete or climb up on the ranks, you have to have matchup knowledge against every character in the game. Do not sleep on that fact. You can't just boot up Tekken and think you can win, right? Now, this is for like intermediate to beginner levels. I know you have Tekken Kings, you have TGOs, and my subscribers. You know, respect to you guys, kudos. I'm trying to get to the beginner, to the intermediate level players. Because majority, like I've stated in the past, majority of my subscribers are at that level, that rank, beginner to intermediate level. This is something that's good to do, right? You're off from work, you know, you don't really want to stress in Tekken because you know those L's can get to you, the losers can get to you. You're tired, you just want to relax. Boom, boot up practice mode, turn on the CPU, ultra hard, place the character you struggle with, and just try to study the character. Right, like that. So I've learned something. I know I can step her to my left side or to her left side because she's weak. She has a punish on me, that's not safe. Like it just helps. It just helps. I used to do this a lot in Tekken 6. That's pretty much why I have so much experience fighting against most of the characters in the cast, and mostly the legacy characters, and not the new characters, because I struggle a lot with like the Claudios, you know, like the Chloes and the Josies. But like the old characters in the game since Tekken 5, I am familiar with the animations. I fought a Ganryu recently, and I did pretty decent. That was the first time I met Ganryu in ranked, right? And it goes back to the fact that I used to play against Ganryu in practice mode as a CPU. Right? I never even had a friend that played Ganryu that helped me with the matchup knowledge. I did not have a single friend, not even ranked. I've never met a Ganryu in ranked back in Tekken 6, Tekken Tag. I never played against Ganryu, but because I'm familiar with Ganryu through practice mode training, I know some things about him, right? The slow lows. I know the fact that he has no 10 frame jab, right? His highs and stuff. I know all that jazz. Now, again, this works in tandem with studying opponents, like in professional Tekken matches, you can study like tournament matches, right? You just watch certain characters or certain top players play certain characters. Like let's say Saint playing Gunnery. You can learn a few things from that on how the opponent is trying to defend against Gunnery. That's a different way you can learn matchup knowledge. Now I'll make a separate video on that. Like I said, I want to make them separate tutorials and not just bulge them all into one separate video. So it's a good thing to do as well, just watching matches, watching pro level matches. I know people, excuse me, I know a lot of casual players don't watch tournaments, but trust me, it's another way of studying characters, studying matchup knowledge, studying how people react to certain things, what they do, you know, punishment, movement, all that jazz. As it goes as far as watching a single tournament match. Anyway, that will be my next video. So for now, guys, boot up practice mode, put the CPU on ultra hard, pick a character to struggle against with, and just study the character, study the animations, what you can punish, what you can't punish, what you can step, what you can step. Do this at least 10 minutes each time you boot up your console before you go into practice mode. Just make some time, dedicate some time to this, because I know most of us don't really have sparring partners like that. Most of us are online warriors, so there is no particular way we can study character matchups, and this goes a long way. Again, this is aimed for beginner to intermediate level, but at high level, if you don't do this, it helps as well if you're lacking character matchup knowledge, like me for example. So I do this once in a while, not as much as I used to, honestly be speaking, because I'm not really like, you know, sweaty at Tekken anymore. But I used to do this all the time. Trust me, I used to do this all the time, and you should too. So anyway, if you enjoyed my video, guys, please do consider subscribing, liking, as it helps with the algorithm. And check out my punishment training guide if you haven't already. And yeah, GG my boys, take care.